with Aedin O'Neill, who is a digital advertising specialist for the next episode of the Future Marketing video series. And today we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube advertising. So thanks very much for coming along, Aedin. I suppose if we start, we've seen a lot of developments on YouTube in relation to advertising over the last few years. Could you outline for our audience who maybe haven't gone down the road of doing any YouTube advertising yet, what you see to be the main benefits of advertising on YouTube?
Yeah. Well, there's loads and loads of benefits of YouTube advertising. I'll maybe give you my top 3. So the key thing would be reach. So there's 1.9 billion users on YouTube worldwide. So, and that's when an active user actually logs in and watches at least one video per month. So that's not even counting like people that are accessing YouTube every day that aren't signed into Google accounts. So as well as that, every day there's 1 billion hours of YouTube watched. So it's an active platform there that is ready for marketers and businesses to tap into. Like I could give you loads and loads of stats about what demographics we can access on YouTube and age ranges and all of that, but Peter, you know yourself that it's reach is useless unless you're reaching the right audience and the right people. So I suppose that would lead me into the targeting capabilities. So the targeting capabilities just keep getting better and better, and just with the progress with Google products alone, there's 1,000 updates and new features every quarter alone. So the targeting is getting more sophisticated. So you've got like your basics demographics, so targeting people based on their age, gender, location. More recently, you can target people on their household income. So you've got that, and then you've got detailed demographics where you can target people that have like a shared traits. So the likes of students, homeowners, new parents, things like that. Life event targeting, which is quite similar to the Facebook had rolled that out first. Consumer patterns, so it's all kind of related to Google's machine learning, and they have signals that they're analysing that they can tell if you're about to go through a major life event. So for example, you can target people if 3 months before they're getting married, or you can target people 3 months after they've moved house. I think the most recent one is targeting people that are getting a new pet. So
it's utterly terrifying.
It's crazy, like what you can do. Then you've got your like contextual targeting, where if you feel that your product or brand is going to be maybe complementary products, you can target specific YouTube channels. You can even target specific videos that people are watching, and they'll see your videos. So it is the options are endless there. But the interest targeting would be my kind of go-to for for setting up campaigns. So as you know, Google tracks everything we do, where we spend time online, what we buy, favourites we go to, all of that. So they have pigeonholes into all these categories based on your browsing behaviour. So there's your affinity segments, so you can target audiences based on their long-term browsing behaviour. So it's over like a 12-month period. So there's the likes of, you could set up a campaign, target golf enthusiasts, or you could target luxury shoppers, people that dine out frequently, that type of thing. And then as you move further down the funnel, you've got your more higher intent audiences that you can tap into. So there's the likes of in-market audiences. So that's based on your last 30 days browsing behaviour. So Google reckon they're 80% sure that you're going to take action, like you're either going to buy or sign up or take action on the site. So that's quite powerful. So there's loads of pre-existing categories. So there's home insurance, there's the likes of barbecues, there's fine jewellery, there's watches, all sorts of things, and the list keeps developing as they get more and more data. But I suppose the holy grail then, if you don't think that your product or service fits into any of those existing categories, you can create your own bespoke audiences. So basically you can say, okay, I want my videos to be shown to XYZ based on their browsing behaviour. So you can dictate and say, if anyone's visited my competitors, I want them to see my video ads. So you can be quite strategic with that type of targeting. But I think my my favourite of all time targeting option, which is the most recent that's been added to YouTube, would have to be custom intent. So Google bought YouTube back in 2006, 13 years ago.
Okay.
So it was only last March that they announced that it was the first time that they were able to integrate what you're searching in Google with what you could show videos on YouTube. So that's really powerful, that they can actually link that high intent search with what you're going to show on the video platform. So it's you can literally pick your keywords, so like up to 50 keywords, and then target your videos to people based on that. And it's really fresh audiences as well, because it refreshes every 7 days, that pool of searches. So say even for the likes of smaller advertisers or really competitive industries, the likes of car insurance, professional services, financial products, like home loans and things like that, where cost per clicks typically in search could be from £20 upwards. So like for that, in that scenario, you could set up a video campaign targeting people that are searching for those high intent phrases and blast out your video. And even if, like, say for example, like the car insurance, it takes a couple of weeks to get that sorted out, and you're maybe going to different providers for quotes. So you mightn't want the viewers to watch the full 30 seconds. So you just want them to see your brand, so that then whenever they go to select the provider or they're back in search, your brand will resonate with them and they'll be more inclined to go to you. So it's very powerful that way. And then I suppose the last one that I would touch on will be affordability. So you don't need a huge advertising budget to be able to launch an effective campaign on YouTube. You can, due to the ad formats and the different types of formats available, that the likes of your skippable ads, you only pay literally when someone engages with the ad, or if they watch 30 seconds. So it can be quite cost effective. You can get your message out there without paying an awful lot. And typically cost per views, from my experience, would be in and around 3 to 5 pence. So definitely affordable. So reach, targeting capabilities and affordability would be your key benefits there.
I mean, think with Google have published quite a lot of articles there recently on the video ad sequencing options around different content for people at different stages of the journey, whatever they're at, whatever they are, and some quite useful data on some big campaigns where it's boosted, performance. How do you go about designing a campaign like that? I mean, that would probably terrify quite a lot of people to think, how would you go about creating the assets in the first instance, but then actually setting up your campaign?
It's so the video ad sequencing allows you to tell a story about your brand or your product using a series of videos. So it's the campaign structure is made up of a variety of sequences or steps. So you can dictate exactly what order you want your viewers to see the videos. So an example, I've worked with a client in Finland where they had a online postnatal training program. So it was very established, the product in their home market in Finland, but they wanted to roll it out and launch it in other markets. So the video ad sequencing was ideal then to enable us to roll out like a phased product launch onto the market. So instead of kind of blasting out a 30-second ad and expecting people to understand the whole concept and engage, what we were able to do then was launch the first ad, which was like introducing the founder, her talking about her passion and why she set up the product as such and developed it. And then the second ad was then more based on stats and kind of educating the viewers on maybe what the complications there might be with exercising after birth and things like that. And then the third video in the sequence would be was then the more product focused. So it was introducing the product, a bit more conversion led. And then there's a bumper ad to end just with a 6-second blast of really to keep the brand front of mind if viewers were considering purchasing. So that was the beauty of it as well, is that you can set in rules as well that you can dictate. So if viewers don't engage with the first ad, they don't watch the full 30 seconds, then they won't see the rest of the ads in the sequence. So it's quite smart that way, that you can cut out any wastage or like audiences that weren't responding to the videos, that you can cut that out. So another good example would be the Greatest Showman film. So it was they used video ad sequencing and experimented quite a lot with the trailers for that new movie. So what they had done was, with the first video, they had showcased one of the key characters of the movie. So if the viewers did skip the ad in the first 5 seconds, what they done was they targeted those viewers with an additional ad that showcased a different character, just to see what the kind of difference would be there. But they got really positive results with it. There was so by using the video ad sequencing, they experienced an 149% lift in the consideration versus just using a single ad format. So it's yes, you definitely do need more assets, but it just allows you to, it's really transformed storytelling as such.
Okay. And TrueView for Action is another thing, I suppose, it's fairly recent development from YouTube along a similar sort of vein. And for me, am I right in saying that seems to be a response to the fact that YouTube campaigns have up until this point been very good for reach and awareness, but less effective at the conversion end, and TrueView for Action is sort of designed to try and plug that gap and mean that they're still satisfying the reach and awareness goal, but now they've got specific campaigns designed to help people convert at the other end. Is that what they're for?
That's exactly right. It's like historically, YouTube was all designed towards awareness. It was all kind of upper funnel. It was more about focusing in on views and optimizing for cost per views and things like that. But I suppose it's because of the more sophisticated targeting options that have come onto the market. So the fact that we can even differentiate between, will we have a campaign targeting upper funnel, mid funnel, or lower funnel, is, that it was only a matter of time before they had to update the ad formats to kind of sit in conjunction with those targeting capabilities. So yeah, TrueView for Action is designed specifically, it's designed to drive traffic, drive conversions and leads as such. So the way it works, there's the ad format facilitates a range of call to actions. So you can have, your button with the buy now, sign up now, register for webinar, whatever it may be. And then as well as that, you have the headline. So you've got the opportunity to have 15 characters where you can explain the product or service as well. So it's just a lot more conversion focused, but you do need the ad format as well as the video will be shown before, during, or after another video, and viewers will have the choice to skip with after 5 seconds. But you do need conversion tracking because it's more conversion focused. But what I would say is it's more design. It sounds brilliant on paper that let's have video campaigns and it's all going to get sales, and it sounds brilliant, but you do need to have bigger budget because it's associated with the smart bidding options. So it's specifically the CPA, so your cost per acquisition bidding. So to be able to do that, you're sort of dictating to YouTube that I want X amount of sales for this amount of money. So for the machine learning to be able to kick in and do that successfully, you need to have volume there. You need at least 50 conversions a day going through from YouTube campaigns. So it takes a while to get it up to that, and obviously it takes budget to push that volume through. But definitely good option.
So at that sort of level, are those sort of campaigns then more suitable for e-commerce websites and things like that, where the conversion tracking can obviously be quite quick because it's an add to cart. You can see very quickly whether that worked or not.
Yeah.
Versus somebody in the B2B space for whom a TrueView for Action campaign then might not be something that would really...
Yeah, exactly. Especially if there's maybe a bit more education needed, or if it's more unique product, where you have to be realistic that you're not going to just drive loads of sales right away. It's you'd have to go to your more higher intent channels like search. So.
And does that machine learning part of the YouTube thing then, as well as the requirement for a significant number of conversions per day, does it also require a commitment to a campaign over a period of time to let the learning happen, I suppose, about the audiences and their behaviour in order for that to be optimised at that level?
Exactly. So there's a learning phase associated with those type of business strategies that you need to give the system something. Like it always needs some data and volume there to be able to, for numbers really, to be able to draw conclusions and things like that. So it's not a quick one really, the ad format. But
I mean, one of the other noticeable things, I suppose, from the development of all these new features and campaign types, is the impact that has on the creative process. And we've talked to a few people as part of this series who've refocused in the last number of years, I suppose, on the creative assets that you create. It's not all about just the under the bonnet stuff to target, and the creative that you use as part of your campaign is extremely important. And obviously with ad sequencing and with True View for Action and versus the bumper ads and the in-stream ads and everything, what impact does that have on people who are thinking about a YouTube campaign in terms of the number of assets that they're going to need to create?
Well, there's no doubt about it. Even like the stats show, as I mentioned there in the showman, that a series of videos with the sequencing was so much more effective than one single ad. So it's, you definitely, in terms of quantity, there's definitely, there's a need for more volume of creative. And then with the different formats, as you say, Peter, with the bumper ads, a 6-second ad versus your 30-second ads, and you maybe want to test longer ads as well. So there's definitely a requirement for a lot more creative assets. I know Google are testing at the moment in beta a bumper machine. So it's based on machine learning, where it's going to create a 6-second ad for you if you upload a longer video. But to be honest, Google's reckoning that there will be human input in that as well, and it'll spit out a few versions that you can then tweak as such. But like in my experience, even there was a few years back, Google Ads for display advertising had the display ad builder, which was kind of the same kind of concept, where you input at your website URL and the system scanned it, and then it delivered rotating GIFs to use in display. But I would never recommend it using them. You kind of lost that ownership of your brand and how your kind of creative was portrayed as such. So I'll be a bit skeptical about that. But I think really when it comes to the creative, the key challenge is going to be, like we discussed, reach. So reach is obviously plentiful, but it's the human attention that's so scarce. So it's, there's all this talk about the new attention economy, and it's the way the 21st century it's the way they interpret ads now in the digital world. But it's like in 2000, the average viewer's human attention span was 12 seconds. So now it's down to between 3 and 5 seconds, which is actually less than a goldfish human attention span. So I think that's a key challenge with the creative, that it needs to be professional, it needs to grab attention, it needs to be powerful enough that it's going to avoid viewers hitting that skip button. But
that has a big impact surely on the storytelling structure as part of the creative process as well, then, because whereas previous storytelling guidelines would have said, you lead in and you create a once upon a time and you lead into everybody lived happily ever after. Now I read a thing in Think with Google the other day that said you have to actually give people the dessert first. Now and because that's the thing in that first 3 to 5, that critical point in that 3 to 5 seconds, that will trigger them to want to keep watching.
It's nearly back to front of how the TV, in the end, with a call to action, it's you need your brand, and at the start you need that hook as well. So it's, even when you watch movie trailers, it's where traditionally there was like a big in the cinema and things like that, where they were showing trailers, it was the big hook in the middle. But now it's like you need to blast that out, as you say, in the first instant to get people trapped and engaged, I suppose.
You mentioned the bumper builder tool. I mean, that seems to me to be a direct response from Google and YouTube to the fact that it's the creation of all the different assets that is the thing that's holding people back from actually doing this. So they're attempting to create a tool that will automatically create these assets for them, and like you said, there's been exercises in that before where it can work, but it can also work pretty badly. And I mean, I've in previous sort of international marketing roles, I'm sure there's other people who have experienced the joys of Google Translate, which and it's a lot better now than it initially was, but in its early days, it certainly provided you a quick way to get your website translated, but it wouldn't have been highly recommended, and it's never going to be as good as if you use a human-to-human process, if you like, to try and develop that asset. Is that?
You're on the money there. It's Google. Everybody knows it's a money-making machine, and that is the one thing that stops advertisers from advertising, is just that kind of barrier with creative. So Google, as you say, they're launching or they're trying to make it easier as such for advertisers. So there's responsive display ads, and you've got your, the display ad builder, and now this bumper machine. But it's in my experience, it's just too far. You need, it's unbelievable, the machine learning and what they can do and all the benefits of that with targeting capabilities and things. But you do need that control and human creativity as well, that for creative. But they'll try their best now to make it as simple as possible for everybody to advertise.
I mean, given the YouTube campaigns that you're running, I mean, this is a bit of a how long is a piece of string question, but I mean, how do you measure success?
Well, there's loads of different kind of engagement metrics that you could measure to see how your audience is responding to the video. So you've got the likes of, views, watch time, you've got shares and comments, things like that. If people have watched your video ad and then they go on to your YouTube channel and watch an additional ad, so earned views. So you've got a lot of engagement metrics there. But I suppose the more sophisticated measurement solutions would be the likes of brand lift survey. So it's basically evaluating how effective your video campaign is based on awareness metrics such as your ad recall. It can measure favorability, it can measure purchase intent and considerations. So, but it's basically all developed on surveys. So Google have a controlled group where they ask them a range of questions that have viewed the video ad, and then they've got a group of people that didn't see the ad, and then it's kind of a difference in the lift there. But it can be quite powerful. But it's actually a new version is about to roll out now in January, so it's brand lift 2.0. But the key difference there is traditionally if you were doing a brand lift study, you had to get a Google representative to implement that for you. But now from January onwards, you're going to be able to do that in the front end interface, Google Ads. So it's you'll be able to see live data coming through then, and how your campaigns are reacting and how they're affecting those brand metrics as such. But I'd say my favourite would be brand interest. So that's something you can measure with video ad campaigns, and that's linked to your search behaviour. So it's basically a way that you can measure if your video ad campaigns are inspiring people to go and actively search for your products and or your brand. So it's again, it's linked to Google taking a control group who've seen your ad and a control group and a group that haven't seen your ad, and then measuring up and weighing the impact on organic search. So that's pretty good as well.
And of all the sort of YouTube advertising campaigns you've seen or you've been involved with, what have been your favourite ones in terms of the creative or in terms of the results, and why?
I suppose at this time of the year, just with all the festive ad campaigns out there, I really loved the Deliveroo ad. So it was it's the first time they've launched a Christmas ad on the market. So they had a spin on midwives. So it was very emotive kind of video. It was showing like newborn babies being born and all cute little babies, and it was quite authentic as well. It was a midwife, a real midwife, like showing a day in the life of her job really, and the sacrifices they make. Like there's 1,400 babies are due to be born on Christmas Day, so it was kind of that spin on, they're sacrificing their Christmas Day to deliver babies. So, but what Deliveroo are doing then, they're
it's quite a clever matchup.
That's a good spin on it. It's they're donating for every delivery in December. They're going to donate to the midwives in, I think it's London. So it's one of the university colleges in London. So they're actually set to raise 100,000 with the campaign, and the spin on it then is proud to be the second best delivery service. So it's quite smart. It's got a lot of traction online at the minute. So it's pretty clever.
All right, thanks very much. That was very interesting, Aedin. Good talk through some of the things on YouTube advertising there.